Most people enter their midlife crises around the age of 45, during which they would do pretty much anything to make themselves feel young again. For its 45th anniversary, Brabus celebrated the only way it knew how. No, not by buying a Porsche or getting a mistress. Instead, it has built a bonkers off-road machine with no doors, no windscreen, and enough power and torque to spin a small planet. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Brabus 900 Crawler, a crazy car from a company not exactly known for being a shrinking violet. Despite what the looks would lead you to believe, this hardcore 4x4 isn't based on the Mercedes-Benz G-Class, but a bespoke tubular frame made from high-strength steel, and in spite of its name, the Crawler is built for high-speed desert running rather than climbing over rocks. Part of that name is correct, however. The Mercedes-AMG M177 twin-turbo V8 has been bored out from 4.0 to 4.5 liters and pumps out a heady 900 PS at 6,200 RPM and a ridiculous 1,250 Newton-meters of torque at 2,900 RPM. The gains come from forged pistons, precision-balanced connecting rods, a billet crankshaft, and Brabus-owned turbochargers generating up to 1.4 bar boost. Oh, and a Brabus active exhaust for good measure. Unfortunately, the company had to limit the torque output to just 1,050 Newton-meters, presumably to stop the AMG Speedshift MCT 9-speed automatic gearbox from turning into shards of toothy metal. Even hamstrung like this, and with a weight of more than 2 tons, this behemoth sprints from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a scarcely believable 3.4 seconds, although the off-road tires stop it from going faster than the 160 kilometers per hour limiter. The reason for all this weight, despite the Crawler's bare-bones nature, is down to the hardware underneath. You get a permanent all-wheel drive system with the G-Class triple electronic locking differentials, plus 4-way adjustable aluminum dampers and suspension components milled from solid aluminum. These include the wheel ends, control arms, front subframe, and the housing for the rear live axle. To maximize off-road capability, the Crawler sports portal axles, just like the previous generation G504 by 42 and AMG G63 6x6 that push the wheels below the axle center lines. Together with the 20-inch 8-lug alloy wheels and massive off-road tires, they allow the car to offer an impressive ground clearance of 53 centimeters, double that of the standard G-Class. Paring back some of that mass is the carbon fiber bodywork and the aforementioned lack of doors and glass. The red structure / roll cage, making itself visible in their absence. The mini G-Wagen front end not only gives the Crawler a slightly cutesy look, but has also been opened up as much as possible to feed the huge radiators. The bonnet incorporates an air intake for the engine, as well as vents that enable heat to escape. Along the side, fat wheel arches with gaping vents at the front house the large wheels and tires, and the wide rocker panels are strong enough to function as side steps. The roof consists of a simple carbon panel to keep the sun out and comes with fresh air vents and twin LED light bars. Moving to the rear, the Crawler gets slim G-Class taillights, a sizable roof-mounted wing, and a full-size external spare, along with a quick release for the 100-liter racing fuel cell. The beefy skid plates front and back also mean you don't have to worry about hitting that sand dune flat out. Just try not to roll it, okay? Not that you wouldn't be well protected if that happens. With 4 carbon bucket seats and 4-point harnesses keeping you strapped in. Brabus hasn't skimped on luxury here, upholstering the seats in searing red quilted Silvertex, a high-tech, hard-wearing fabric derived from the company's speedboats that are water-dash, dust, and fade-resistant. The B badge is embroidered into each headrest. The front of the cabin will look familiar to Mercedes owners, with an AMG flat-bottom steering wheel, replete with larger paddle shifters and the optional drive buttons with color displays, and a widescreen display panel with twin 12.3-inch screens. The starter button, the electronic parking brake lever, and the G-Class recognizable triple locking dip buttons are mounted on the central tunnel. Hardcore desert racers will be pleased to know that the crawler comes with a dedicated GPS navigation system ahead of the front passenger and an intercom system that allows occupants to hear each other over the sound of the wind, the sand passing underneath, and that fearsome engine. Brabus has gone to town with the crimson hue here, which adorns the steering wheel, GPS display holder, footwells, and even the pedals. How much for all this extravagance? Well, the crawler retails at 749,000 euros, RM 3.4 million, without tax, which is a lot for a toy that, let's not forget, is not road legal. Just 15 will be built in total. 5 this year, 5 next year, and another 5 in 2024.